March 25th marks the 111th anniversary of the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire. On that day in 1911, 146 garment workers, most of them young immigrant women, died in a largely preventable tragedy. This historic fire was a wake-up call to the public about deplorable working conditions and a lack of safeguards in the nation's textile industry at the time.
There was a public support for broad-ranging legal reform of the entire industry. It wasn't just a couple of bad actors here of the owners, but in fact it seemed to be quite typical of the industry as a whole.
The Greenwich Village building housing the sweatshop that went ablaze was owned by Max Blank and Isaac Harris. The factory employed mostly immigrant teenage girls, many of whom did not speak English. Workers toiled in severely cramped spaces at rows of sewing machines for long hours and with little pay. The fire started Saturday afternoon on the 8th floor and quickly spread because of the highly flammable garments and textiles throughout the factory. In an effort to escape, workers ran to the stairs, but with one of the main exits locked to prevent workers from stealing, many were forced to either be engulfed in flames or to jump from the building to their deaths. In 2008, Ruth Sergel, a filmmaker and activist, founded the Remember the Triangle Fire Coalition. There she helped to organize Chalk, an annual commemoration art project on the fire's anniversary. Volunteers fan out across the city to write the names of those who perished near their homes and where they once lived.
And so I wanted to make a memorial that was ephemeral, that would only exist if people did remember and if people were willing to make a public action to demonstrate that memory.
NYU bought the building in 1929. Now called the Brown Building, and has owned it ever since.
Something that upsets us is that, today this is an NYU building, and for whatever reason, the university doesn't really do much to commemorate them. There's no permanent fixture. The guy was here a minute ago, says he's worked here for 5 years. He had no idea that this was the space, and it's, there's so many ways to access it. It's a worker story, it's an immigrant story, it's a female story, it's a Jewish or Italian story. It's an American story. To chalk the whole sidewalk with the names of the victims, and that way, remember them, and their memory should be something of a blessing for us.
For Washington Square News, this is Evan Watanabe reporting.